our traditional discussion. Book 3 has 4 cantos, and there are in all 14 sections. There are in all 14 sections, and the total number of sentences is 371 in book 3. So we are going to do only 371 sentences, or the total number of lines is 1457 in part, sorry, in book 3, 1457. See, again, as I have been maintaining all along, 1457 lines and 371 sentences, it comes to exactly 3.93 lines per sentence. So you can see throughout Savitri that ratio kind of gets maintained. Per sentence you have 4 lines on an average. There are longer sentences, there are very short single line sentences also. But on an average, if you take, there are 4 lines per sentence. So you have got 371 sentences and 1457 lines in book 3, you see. Well, if you want some other details, I can send them to you. Or if you want to note down right now, you can. Now, before this book, we had a long book of Ashwapati's Yoga Tapasya, or what is called here the book of the traveler of the world. Ashwapati is climbing up from plane to plane and going to the topmost plane of this creation. In fact, we can say that in book 3, we have got 3 broad divisions concerned with the yoga of Ashwapati. The yoga of Ashwapati consists of 3 main parts, 3 main sections, 3 main ingredients. The yoga of the individual, the yoga of the universal, and the yoga of the transcendental. Ashwapati, who has taken the mortal birth, the divine incarnate who has taken the mortal birth, because he has taken the mortal birth, as an individual, he has to find out his own soul, he has to find out his own spirit, and be guided by his soul and his spirit in his pursuit. That is yoga of the individual, and that yoga is given in first book, Canto 3, 4, 5. Canto 3, 4, 5. A worse desire compels her mortal birth. That is how Canto 3 of book 1 starts. A worse desire compels her mortal birth. Worse desire, her mortal birth, of course, stands for Savitri. Savitri is already introduced to us in the first 2 cantos, book Symbol Dawn and the Issue. And why she has taken the mortal birth? Who compelled the Divine Mother to take the mortal birth? It is with that the 3rd canto begins, a worse desire. Now, worse desire is there for betterment or something noble, something happy, something great to happen in this creation. That is worse desire. The human aspiration for freedom, liberty, God, immortality, that is the human aspiration already built into the soul of man. So it is that desire which is now being taken by somebody to the Supreme and compelling the Supreme Goddess to take the mortal birth. That one who is taking, he is of course later on named Ashwapati, but he is the incarnate Supreme himself who has taken the mortal birth, And he is doing the yoga here as an individual first, because he has taken birth in the mortality, with ignorance, with death, with suffering, with falsehood, and he has to find out for himself first what is it all that, and he has to come out of it first. Then only he can start doing his work. So that is what we have got in the first three cantos, in those three cantos of book 1, 3, 4, 5 cantos, the yoga of the individual. Now it is Ashwapati who is taking the worst desire to the Supreme, and she is now compelled, please come down here and take the mortal birth. That is because of it she comes here, and then the rest of the story follows. Now with that particular line, all the 12,000 lines till the end of book 3, we have Ashwapati, 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 Ashwapati all along. So that is what we have got in the in book 1 about the yoga of the individual. In the universal yoga, Vishwa Yoga, the second book, the book of the traveler of the world, he goes from plane to plane, climbing up all the way up to the topmost part of it, in the cosmic manifestation of the divine, in the cosmic manifestation of the divine. So he explores every nook and corner. What is matter? What is life? What is mind? What is spiritual line? All these dimensions of cosmic vision, he explores them. Now, although the title of the book is simply the traveler of the world, he is the traveler of the world. He is not describing, the poet is not describing simply as a travelogue. I have gone to this city, I have seen this scenery, I have seen this mountain. It is not just a travelogue or meeting people and all that thing. He is, of course, exploring each and every nook and corner of the cosmic manifestation, but because he is the incarnate Supreme himself, who has taken on him the burden, the cover of mortality, of ignorance, of death. He has to explore all those things. That is important. That is point number 1. The second important point is when he goes from one place to the other place, up, at every place he leaves behind his own divine presence. I had gone to the city, walked away from the city, but then I had left behind in that city my presence, my power, my capacity to get things done. I left it there. So like that, he goes into the material world, he goes into the physical world, he goes into the vital world, life world, mental world, spiritual world. Everywhere he leaves behind his divine presence. In other words, it is as if he is charging all the cosmic planes with the divine presence and giving them a meaning and a support. That is important because only when this divine presence is present throughout the cosmos, the divine Shakti, the divine power cannot work. If she has to work, she needs a support, she needs Adhar, she needs a base, she needs a foundation. On what ground she has to stand? And the ground of for activity of the divine Shakti is prepared by him by going. So when the traveler is going from place to place, he is leaving, he is preparing the ground also for the divine Shakti to come and act. To come and act. So the second book simultaneously does exploration and preparing the base, preparing the foundation, preparing the Adhar for the power to come and work. So both the things are happening simultaneously. That is that is book 2. Now in book 3, he has covered all the cosmic dimensions. He has established his presence everywhere. He explores now something by which things can be done. So he does two things. He wants to find out the source, the power, where from she comes, and takes the birth. and does all that has got to be done in this world. He first finds out that power. And in Canto 3 of Book 3, the House of the Spirit and the New Creation, he establishes a new creation. He is going to approach the Divine Mother to take mortal birth. All right, he will go and pray and she will come. But then that is not sufficient. Simply say, please come down. That is not sufficient. She would ask, yes, I will come down, but please tell me what I have to do, what work I must do. You want me simply come down, that's not sufficient. It's not enough. You have to specify, outline the contours of my work. And what Ashwapati, the yogi, does is first he creates a new world altogether in the transcendental, in Sachidananda, a new world. And her task now is, look, that world is standing there. You have to bring it down here. You are not coming here simply for nothing. You have a specific task to bring down that world which has been created in the transcendent, must be established, must manifest itself on the earth. So his third task, the individual yoga, the cosmic ground, preparation of the whole ground, establishing the adhara for it, and preparing a new world so that she can come and bring it down here. So the task is specified in that way for the Divine Mother, what she should come. She has to come, all right, but she has to do some work also. So please specify the work. And this is the specification of the work. That the world is there now, you have to, Ashwapati cannot bring it down. That is not his job. Ashwapati can create a new world there. But the manifestation of the new world, it is the Shakti's job. It is the divine power's job. And she has to come and do that sort of a thing, you see. Now, obviously, this task has to be done only by she taking mortal birth. That is important. She taking mortal. It is not that the divine goddess is there and she says, okay, let this happen. By simply saying that, it's not like that. She has to do all that thing from below here. If this creation has a meaning, if this creation has a possibility, if this creation can open out itself to the divine, then only this creation has a meaning, has significance. Otherwise, simply saying, okay, let it be like that, okay, let it be like that has no meaning at all, you see. It should flower up from here and open itself to the divine power from here. So that is the work which she has to do here by taking the mortal, by herself identifying with all the problems and issues of this creation and then carrying out her work. So that is the general theme of Book 3, that Ashwapati is now in the transcendent, in Satchidananda. He goes even beyond Satchidananda into the total unknowable, which cannot be really expressed at all in any terms. The ineffable, the absolute ineffable, the indescribable. Because Satchidananda itself is the first manifestation of the Supreme, of the unknowable. It is the first manifestation. It has all the three contents, Sat, Chit and Ananda. It has all the three contents simultaneously. That is the first manifestation. Because these three are present, then the cosmic manifestation becomes possible, and then the individual growth becomes possible, you see. So the first manifestation of the total non-manifest supreme, the ineffable, the unknowable as he calls it, is the Satchidananda. So Ashwapati in his yoga is now shooting beyond Satchidananda and pursuing, chasing, finding out the unknowable. And while he is on the way there he meets the unknowable Shakti, power, what we call here the Divine Mother. She is the Divine Mother.